Welcome to This Week in BJJ, the only show running the gamut of Brazilian Jiu Jitsu and running it live every Friday night.
Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new episode of This Week in BJJ. I'm Budo Jake. Today is March 15th, 2013, and I'm here with two very special guests. We got Osiander, first time here, and Sean Roberts, who's been here once already, so making a record as far as being the second guy on the show. Thanks for coming in, guys.
Thank you for having us.
So we got a lot of stuff to talk to you guys about, but first, well, you're probably wondering what this Band-Aid's doing on my forehead. Last night was a little more exciting than I'd hoped for. I was training at Gracie Baja headquarters, where I usually train, and I collar dragged a guy, my friend Fabio Machado. Still love you, buddy. And his head collided with mine. Obviously, his head was harder than mine. And, well, maybe I'll tell you a little bit about what happened after that, and you can learn from my experience. And Sean, I see you have a scar in the exact same place, so you've been through this before. Whenever you get cut on the forehead, a lot of blood comes out. It doesn't hurt too much. But anyway, I did have to go to the ER. And whenever you go to the doctor, I don't know about you guys, but they usually ask why you're there. And I hesitate, like, what do you say? Do you say jiu-jitsu because they probably don't know what it is? Do you say judo, hoping they might know? Or do you just say wrestling? So I usually just say wrestling. But anyway, last night I said jiu-jitsu. The lady said, what? And then another male nurse came and took me to the room, and he said, so you're doing jiu-jitsu, huh? And I said, yeah. He said, do you do Brazilian or 10th Planet? And that kind of surprised me. Is that our only two options here? You know, but hey, props to Eddie. I guess he's kind of monopolized no-gi to, to him that was the only two options. But anyway, get in there, get some stitches put in, and when you have stitches, you have to be careful that you don't get an infection, right? So, how long did you stay out, Sean?
Stay out?
When you
training?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is.
Really?
Staying out training?
You just went right back in, huh?
We put Vaseline on it and we kept training.
Right. You guys are hardcore. I know some guys that have gotten staph infections in cuts before, so I'm going to take it easy for a little while, but sucks getting injured, man.
Oh, yeah.
Takes you away from your hobby, your sport, your activity.
Invest in crazy glue. It's cheaper than going to ER.
Yeah.
You just got to clean it really good, and then crazy glue. I do all my guys there that have no insurance. They're like, Kurt, I need to be fixed. I'm like, okay, crazy glue.
You're not talking like medical glue. You're talking regular
crazy.
Dr. Kurt.
Wow. And I
pulled his stitches. I didn't put them in, but I pulled them.
Right.
I do all kinds of crazy abstract shit there.
That's awesome.
So you sewed some guys up, huh?
Yep.
Kai Hollenbeck, you sewed him up? You dropped a knife in his foot?
That's right. Your dad taught me how to pull stitches. He's like, look, since you're going to be doing this, you might as well do it right. And so he gave me a lesson right there at the academy.
Right, because Sean, your dad's a doctor, right? And what other kind of doctor-like things do you do? Do you drain ears?
I can drain ears. I can tape you up. I can relocate dislocated things. That's about it, Pretty much like trauma, like instant trauma stuff I can do.
That's pretty cool because back in the day in judo and Japanese jiu-jitsu, the instructors, from what I understand, knew how to heal people too. They were not only teach you how to break bones, but how to set bones, which nowadays not a lot of guys can do that.
It's I think it's really easy to hurt people. It's really hard to fix them. So, and then like I have a lot of EMTs and then Green Berets that are like the medic on the team, and so they gave me all their books on how to do all the crazy stuff.
Wow. We're going to talk more to these guys in a minute, but first let's get into the news. Big tournament news. ADCC 2013, one of my favorite tournaments of the year. They were trying to choose a location. Sao Paulo was the location they were talking about for a while, but they've finally decided it's going to be in China and Beijing to be specific. You guys ever been to China?
I have not yet.
Nope.
China's an interesting place. Beijing's definitely the cleanest city, so I'm glad it's being held there. And usually November is the month that ADCC takes place, so looking forward to being there in Beijing. Okay, let's change topics and talk about some guys that have changed teams recently. There's been some guys that moved around. Giannai Grippo, longtime Renzo Gracie student, left Renzo Gracie Jiu Jitsu and joined Marcelo Garcia. Giannai says, I've been training at Renzo's for 10 years since I was 10 years old, so the decision to leave was definitely one of the hardest decisions I've ever made in my life. But now I'm looking forward to the great opportunities I have at Marcelo's and in the Alliance family, and I can't wait to compete with my team at the upcoming Pans. Think that was a good decision for Giannai?
You could take that one.
Man, I'm a fanatic, so you know, I saw that, I was shocked. I was like, what the? I couldn't believe it, because I know guys that said that he'd been training there since he's a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think that a lot of times you make decisions when you're that age, and they're good in one way, and later you'll regret it, I think.
You're saying at his age now?
Yeah, at his age now, he's, what, 20-something,
yeah.
Right? So you still got your head halfway up your ass.
When you think about the Renzo Gracie team, competition team, I'd say Giannai is the first name that comes to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he was always the one there at the tournaments, fighting, And he'd be there with, like, a few of my other friends, Hoist, Chen, and Hafa, and, whoever else was going there.
Right. It doesn't seem to me like the Renzo Gracie team was focused so much on gi competition these days. At least the main tournaments out here. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
But loyalty is important for all of us. We've all stuck with our teachers, right? I've been with my teachers since the beginning, and you guys have too. So I think we all value loyalty. But isn't there a point in Giannai's case where he's not getting the payback that the instructor owes him?
There is that side, and I don't know that other side, but loyalty, it goes both ways, So I don't know the extenuating circumstances that may have pushed him over the edge to make this decision.
Right.
Right.
But if you're going to be a high-class gi competitor, you need to have high-class competitors to train with, right?
I think there's plenty of high class there.
But those guys, yeah, sure, the Gracie brothers are there, but they're not out competing very much.
It's not like he was doing bad in tournaments. He was winning all the time, right?
Well, he wasn't doing bad, and I don't see that as being I'm sure that there's something other than that behind the decision.
Yeah. It was like, how many blocks away? Like 4?
Yeah.
I heard?
Super close.
Yeah.
Well, we wish Giannai all the best.
Definitely.
We'll be seeing him in a few days here at the Pans. A couple other guys that changed teams, we talked about this last week on the last episode as well, was Keanan Cornelius and JT Torres. They both left Team Lloyd Irvin and joined Atos. So Galvao had this to say about Keanan. Mr. Keanan Cornelius joins the crew in San Diego. Welcome home. And to JT, Andre Galvao said, JT Torres in the house, baby. Welcome to the jungle. What do you guys think about that move?
I think they were trying to distance themselves from bad reputation, yeah.
Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff in the news about Team Lloyd Irvin, so these guys have to consistently get good training to be right on the top, and I think they made a good choice.
If they had stayed together, they would still have good training and everything, but I think they wanted to distance themselves, You don't want to emulate a leader that is a bad leader, yeah. So,
as far as the statements they gave out, I think Keanan's was probably the best, like the most mature one.
Yeah.
JT too, just didn't say anything.
Right.
Yeah.
Certainly, they chose a team that trains hard and has a lot of other tough guys, so I'm sure they'll continue to do well. Okay, let's take a look at a clip now. This is Bil Cooper. He stopped in at Art of Jiu-Jitsu Academy with Rafa and Guilherme Mendes and had a roll with Rafa Mendes. Rafa was quick on an omoplata. Bill's the type of guy that is always playful, never takes things too seriously, but he never really got out of danger in this roll. Sean, you said you've rolled with Bill before?
Yeah, I competed against him in Nogi back when I was a pro belt. He smashed me, I think. Yeah, 13-0. I had one advantage. Almost triangle or something.
He's in a lot of shit right here.
Yeah,
that really sunburned.
That reverse triangle is so nice.
He's really sunburned, or is changing colors right now, man.
He's been surfing a lot with Joel Tudor. That's what I see on his Facebook and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Looks kind of gassed a little bit. Mendes is just godlike in jiu-jitsu, though, so I don't know how much that would have mattered.
Right. And we saw a little piece of it, but he has a really nice reverse triangle when the guy's going for a double leg. That's something to look at. Okay, let's take a look at some new products. A brand new gi went on sale today. That was the Shoyu Roll Deluxe gi. This one sold out in just under an hour. So for those of you guys that were lucky enough to get your order in, those will be shipping out to you next week. So Kurt and Sean are in town because the Pan Jiu-Jitsu tournament is right around the corner. Next Wednesday through Sunday, it's going to be a 5-day tournament. Last year it was 4 days. This year's 5, so it's still growing. You can catch the whole thing live as usual here on Budo Videos. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday are available for $10 each, and we'll show every single match. Saturday and Sunday is available for $20, and all access covering all 5 days is available for $50. And again, every single match will be shown, so if you have friends or family members, all they need to know is what mat you're going to be on and what time, and that information can be found on TWIBJJ.com. So I got a list here of some of the competitors, at least of the black belt division. I'm going to run through some names here. Feel free to comment anytime if you guys see fit. In the Rooster division, we got, I'm only naming some of the names here, but we got Caio Terra and Bruno Malfacini, so a potential rematch there. In the light feather division, we have Guilherme Mendes. In the feather division, we have Cobrinha and Rafa Mendes, Samir Chantry, Kim Terra, who is Caio Terra's brother. I don't think he's ever competed in the U.S., so nice to see him here. Megatone, he never misses a tournament, and Tanquinho. In the lightweight division, we got Lucas Lepre, Tanner Rice, Michael Lange, JT Torres, Zach Maxwell. In the middleweight division, we got Ian McPherson, Leo Iturralde, Clark Gracie, Marcelo Mafra, Lucas Rocha, Otavio Souza, Majid Hage, Kyron Gracie, Leandro Lowe, DJ Jackson, and Sean Roberts.
Dang. That's scary.
What do you think about that division, Sean?
It's scary.
Did you do anything different to prepare for this tournament than you were at brown belt?
Same thing.
Do you increase the sparring sessions or anything?
Yeah, we increased the round duration, of course.
Yeah.
Do you think that has much effect? I mean, you've done, you did Lloyd Irvin's Kumite when you had some super long matches. Does 8 minutes and 10 minutes make much difference to you?
I don't think so. We'll find out. So.
Does if you're stalling.
Yeah.
Then you got to think, oh, I got to stall right here. Look at the clock. I got to stall here for 30 seconds.
Regain.
Wait a minute. Okay, and then I'm going to move my hand. Okay, and then I'm going to stall for 1 minute. Okay.
Some guys do play that game.
They do it.
Is there ever a time when you've felt you need to stall?
I will settle in, get my points, and then start moving again.
Okay, let's move on a little bit here. We got medium heavyweight division. Tarsis Humphreys, Andre Galvao, Abmar Barbosa, Homlo Bahal. Heavyweight division, Lucas Leitch and Tusa. Super heavy, Bernardo Faria. Ultra heavy. Usually the ultra heavy is one of the slower divisions, but we got a stacked ultra heavyweight division. Bushesha, Alexander Trans, Orlando Sanchez, his first Pan tournament at black belt. Gustavo Elias, who's won a lot of tournaments recently. And Cyborg.
Wow, Neto didn't make it in, huh?
Yeah. Who's that?
Braga Neto.
No, he didn't.
Make it, huh?
Kurt's fighting.
Yeah, Kurt. How many guys do you have in your division?
I have no idea.
4.
Including you.
Okay.
Excellent. And Kurt, what do you think about this tournament? Do you look forward to it? Do you like the Pan?
I love the Pans. I get to see a lot of friends that I don't see all year long. That's what it usually is. It's like, okay, let's go down there. All the coaches bring their dogs down. We let the dogs fight. We get to hang out, see each other, talk bullshit, talk about, how the wife's making you miserable, how many kids you got, or, how the academy's going. And that's about it. And then if it's Saturday or Sunday, if you're adult or master or senior, then you fight.
One of the big differences between the Pan and the Worlds is that there's no Masters and Seniors divisions at the Worlds, but now there's a Masters and Seniors Worlds. So as far as you, as a coach and a competitor, what do you see as the difference between the Pan, competing at the Pan, and the Masters and Seniors?
I haven't done the Masters and Senior. I was busy because my guys were fighting the U.S. Open at the same time, and they're like, "Are you going?" And I'm like, "No, because you guys are all fighting." I had like 30 head fighting at U.S. Open, so I didn't go down to the first Masters Senior here that was in L.A. I'll go this year, though. Hopefully it's not going to conflict with anything.
Yeah, cool. All right, let's take a look at a quick commercial for the Pan Jiu-Jitsu tournament.
It's coming, and this year, it's even bigger and better. The 2013 Pan Jiu-Jitsu Tournament and live broadcast is now a 5-day event. And with Budo Video's exclusive multi-mat technology, all fights will be shown. March 20th through the 24th, the choice is yours. Because this year, enjoying the Pan Jiu-Jitsu Championships from the comfort of your home is a fully redesigned experience. You choose the mat that you want to watch. Discover a new way to submit to Brazilian Jiu Jitsu exclusively at BudoVideos.com. The 2013 Pan Jiu Jitsu Championships. Jiu Jitsu enhanced. Budo Video's live broadcast of the Pan Jiu-Jitsu Tournament is your front seat ticket that lets you share the victory with family, friends, and your favorites.
Okay, guys, welcome back. Again, we're here with Kurt Osiander and Sean Roberts. For those of you who don't know, Kurt teaches at Ralph Gracie School in San Francisco, and Sean Roberts recently got his black belt at the same school, so they're both under Ralph Gracie. And guys, we talked a lot during the film we rolled up when we were in San Francisco, but so not to cover too much of the same territory, but tell us a little bit about what it is to train under Ralph Gracie.
Well, I've been at a lot of different Ralph Gracie academies. So I've been around like 4 or 5, but definitely the closer you get to him, where he like lives, the tougher the competition is, and definitely like it's hard to train under him, especially like when he's there. He really pushes everyone. It's awesome. You never really get a chance to rest when he's there, you know.
Ralph's a pretty intense guy. Have either of you ever seen his soft side?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. When he's around his kids and stuff like that, or other little kids, then he's totally a really, really nice father figure, you know. But that can switch really quick.
And is he the type to give you praise when you do something well, or does he just tell you when you're doing something wrong?
Pretty much when you're only doing something wrong.
Yeah.
I have to agree with that. Yeah, you don't get too much praise.
Yeah, like when you win a tournament, he's like, man, I won this tournament. He's like, you're supposed to. And you're like, like, oh.
How many guys did you tap? I got all 4 of them, but one guy escaped. Oh, man. Why?
And Sean, you just got your black belt. How long have you been training?
Almost 8 years.
8 years.
Yeah.
How does that compare to, we all know that Half has really strict standards. He doesn't just give belts away. How does 8 years compare to his average, do you think? Because he has some guys with some really low averages, right?
I don't know.
BJ Penn and...
I got mine in 10 years of every day, all day. I think I was kind of slower learner than him. Mm-hmm. The new era is a lot faster, and they're also has so much more accessibility to information. So I think that's making the term shorter, especially 10,000 hours and 10,000 hours. You know what I'm saying? So if the kid stays on the mat every day, all day long, he can accumulate it faster. Mm-hmm. Especially if he's a jiu-jitsu bum.
Right. And how did? Why was the belt given at this time?
I don't know why I was given at that time. You know, there was a lot of controversy with me fighting at black while I was a brown belt. So,
yeah, so let's take a step back. First, what did Half say to you?
Well, I got a phone call, and he asked me, he's like, do you want to fight brown or black? That's Pan Am. I was like, black, you know? Like, I fought brown for a while, you know, for over 2 years, and I'm anxious to fight the best guys, you know? That's why I said that. And then I put it out that I was going to fight as a black. Well, he told me, like, look, you're still a brown belt in the gym. I'm like, okay, like, whatever. And then I put it out, and then people started, either they're like, oh, that's cool, or they complained. A lot more complaining, like, about it, you know, but.
I mean, let's be honest, it seems weird to compete at one belt and wear a different one in the academy.
I think Half's done that a lot, right?
Yeah. You got to remember, Half has his own set of rules compared to IBJJF. So he's going to do it his way.
What do you think the rationale behind that was? It's
like a very realistic trial by fire.
So if you do well competing against a black belt,
you get to keep it. If you fuck up, you're out. You go right back. Mm-hmm. So that's what I figure.
Then he changed his mind, right?
Yeah, that's how my parents showed up, and I was like, well, they didn't fly up north just to watch me roll, so I was like, okay, it's today, you know. It's exciting. And
how does the Half Gracie black belt promotion go?
It's a surprise all the time, and then you run through the gauntlet, which really sucks.
Usually,
for the people that don't know,
you get adverse training for a really long time, and you wonder why.
Yeah, I put out that video too. I was surprised on how many people don't like the gauntlet. Like,
for people who don't know what the gauntlet is, can you explain the gauntlet?
Well, you get your whole team lines up, like in 2 lines. They take off their belt. And at our school, we take off our gi and our shirt, so just skin. And you supposed to walk, but I run because it hurts like hell. So, and then they hit you in the stomach or the back. And you go there, and once you're at the end, you turn around, go back through. Pretty painful. I'm pretty happy. That's the last time for me.
We do it for our kids, too.
Yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Who's the guy?
Because the little kids are, like, watching it, and they're like, they get out there, and they get all hyped up, and they're like, yeah, Sean's getting his belt. We're going to whip him, you know? And so they run out there and swing the belts, too. But then I'm like, just wait till it's your birthday. You're going to go down the corridor, too? And they're like, yeah, okay. And so you got to gauge the child, right? Because some of the kids I got, they're like tough. So you can whip them kind of hard. And I do. And then some of the kids, they're pussies. You know that if you hit them too hard, they're going to cry. So you don't want that to happen. So you just hit them and they get the feeling of it, they get the vibe, you know, and then everybody hugs you in. So it's really cool. It's togetherness thing, right?
Right.
Did you recently have a kid, like a couple days ago?
We did Bogdan yesterday.
Yeah. He deserves it.
No, he got whipped hard. Bogdan is tougher than shit. Look out for that kid in the future.
Sean, do you have any marks to show us?
Got one. It's good. One. Other than that, it's pretty good. I don't have any on my back for some reason.
Right.
You guys didn't hit me hard enough.
I did too.
You hit me hard.
Kurt, we got a question from you from Brothers in the chat room. He says, why did Kurt go with Half instead of staying with Caesar, who was his friend and who he started with in training?
Wow, that's a really good question. I felt at that point in my career that I was just pretty much just teaching and not evolving as myself as a practitioner, and I was working a lot of construction and then going to the academy and working more, and I felt that I was not being rewarded and being taken advantage of. So I decided that I was going to save some money, go to Brazil, just train, and I did. I just trained a lot. I partied a lot, but I trained a lot every day, every night. And then Half, you know, he says, when you come back, where are you going? I'm going to come back and train with you. And because there was a Pleasant Hill Academy and Mountain View, and I was going between them both. And that was causing friction already. And so then I pulled the trigger. I said, okay, I'm going with you, Half. So.
You mentioned partying and training in Brazil. Which one was better?
They were both really good.
What's the difference of partying in Brazil than in America?
Man, that partying starts really late, and it starts really, really late. It's like you leave the house at midnight. The training was epic. I was there in '97, and that's the last time I was there. And '97 was epic. It was the power, like, decade of, I want to say, of Baja Gracie. It was like all the guys were there. Nino, Gordo, Miragai, Holette. Man, there's just too many top guys. Hein was still there. Renzo was still there. Half was going back and forth. And then it was just crazy. Crazy good training in the small Espacio Vital, like the old canvas mat. So when you got shoved into the mat, you didn't slide. You were erased.
Do you feel any desire to go back to Brazil to train?
Yeah, I do.
Where would you train?
I'd go back and hang out with what's left over of the Baja Gracie guys, but I'd definitely go over and hang out with Gordo. Gordo always was really cool to me and is like a childhood friend of Half's. And then I met like all the Gordo guys when they came over here, like Batata, Sandro Batata. He's down in Santa Cruz now. Then I hooked up with Braga Neto and those guys. And so I know a lot of the Gordo guys. I would go over there definitely and train with those guys a lot. Plus, I'm a half guarder, so.
Right. Sean, have you been to Brazil?
Never.
Do you think? Do you feel like you need to go, considering that's the country that gave birth to your passion?
No, not really. Back in the day, probably. Like, I think, especially in the past, since I started jiu-jitsu really skyrocketed. It seems like, with the internet and all, you know. Now I think America and Brazil are pretty even. Just Brazil has a lot more experience with more black belts and stuff. But all the good coaches are out here. So
yeah, I agree.
Like,
everybody came over here and wants the American dream.
Name the best guys. They're out here somewhere.
Right.
You know.
Undoubtedly, some of the best coaches are here, but still, we don't have very many American champions, especially in the gi. Why do you think that is?
It's time.
Just give it time. Yeah. It's just like the American soccer program. My dad's been telling me that. Just give it 10 more years. So I think this will be faster than the soccer program.
I think you're right. Kurt, some of your students have told me before that you're a real NorCal kind of guy. What does that mean?
I don't know. What does that mean? I was born and bred up there, yeah.
Because there's people watching the show that don't know anything about Northern California, and a lot of the jiu-jitsu guys just think of Southern California. So what does it mean to be a NorCal guy?
I think that because it's not sunny all the time up there, we train really hard. I don't know. I know that because the way I was brought up by Half, man, we train really hard every day, sunny day, rainy day, it doesn't matter. A NorCal kind of guy, I don't know.
Beach sucks, huh? The beach sucks compared.
The beach up there is not so cool. I mean, we got good waves up there, but it's not warm water. We got good waves, big sharks. What else? I can't say that. Don't say it, Kurt. Just hold it back.
Just say it.
There's really good weed. I don't know. It's just the Bay Area is really cool. It's like a little hotbed of really good jiu-jitsu. I mean, if you go like all the way from Sacramento to Santa Cruz and then back up to Eureka, there's like a little triangle of jiu-jitsu inside of that Bay Area.
Sean, you've spent time in Southern California and Northern California. How do you compare or contrast the two places?
I just train all day, so it's just basically the same. I think up north, a little bit more training. Since the weather is not as good, so you don't go outside. Same thing, don't go outside as much, so you just train all the time.
There's
less distraction.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of my friends from Brazil, they're like, Kurt, I'm coming to get ready for this and this and this. I'm all right, come over here. They go, I got to get out of Rio, man. I can't. There's no way getting ready for anything in Rio. And I'm like, all right, they come over here. And they're in the academy all day long. They're like, all right, yeah.
Working the nose out.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I saw a lot of distractions when I was at your academy with all the streetwalkers.
Yeah, well, I have interesting scenery, that's for certain.
Got one more question for you in the chat, Kurt. What do you think matters most, the teacher or the students? It seems like all the best teams have a special mix of students that make it special.
Well, that's for sure. I'm a big. I don't believe in recruiting. Like a lot of people go out and get people or offer them stuff like that. I myself, I will make even the nerdiest nerd computer guy good at jiu-jitsu. I'll create rather than recruit. I got a bunch of guys that are really, really like me, so they train hard and they think that's normal. And now the machine has been set in motion, and so that's the way. If I'm not there, they know that it'll run by itself.
Do you think everybody has the potential to be good in jiu-jitsu?
Absolutely. It just takes some people longer than others, right?
That's right. I agree with that. All right, we got a viewer mail. I'd like to get your guys' input on this as well. Brian Hefner says, I need a new gi, but I'm a little overwhelmed with all the brands available. There's a lot more brands, right, guys? Since
all of a sudden.
Yeah, there's a lot more. What's the best one? And I'm going to give my opinion, and I'd like you guys to as well. Thanks for the question, Brian. And before I say which brands I like, I want to say that it's a really personal choice. There's so many different body types, different fabrics, different cuts. So what fits me might not fit you. But I can also say that all the brands that we carry on Budo Videos, they're all quality gis. We're not going to find something that's going to fall apart. That being said, the ones that fit me well are Shoyu Roll, Tatami, and Bull Terrier. I've tried a lot of other brands, and for one reason or another, just because of my body type, those are the ones that fit me well. Some of them I have to wash in cold water and can't shrink them at all. I don't put them in the dryer. Some of them I have to shrink down. So the best thing would be if you could come into the store or someplace that carries a lot of them and try them on and see which ones fit you best. Kurt, what's your opinion?
I really like the OTMs. I mean, wait a minute. I really like the OTMs as an everyday gi, but for my competition gis and like my personal preference, I use Shoyu Roll. And then you got to understand, I have a collection of gis from everywhere. So I got one box just filled with Shoyu Roll, and then I have my other gis. If I have to go to an everyday gi that I can use every day, man, I always grab my Shoyu Roll. I put my Shoyu Roll on, it's on. But second choice, I'm going to go with my OTM because they're very durable, and then always a Tama.
How about you, Sean?
Well, I've been wearing on the mat since blue belt. Before that, I just wore Corral. So both of those are really good. I know Atamas, they last forever. I don't think I've ever ripped an Atama gi before. So those three seems pretty good.
And there's a lot of other choices. Like a little bit before the show started, we were talking about pants. Some people love ripstop pants. I happen to like them a lot. Some people hate them. Some people like thicker. Some people like thinner. So there's so many different variations. You just got to try and see which one fits you. All right, so that's all we have to talk about today. Let's going to Actually, we've got one last question before we cut. Sean, who are you most looking forward to fight at the Pan Ams?
There's a lot of people I'm looking forward to fighting. I really hope I get Leandro Lo or Octavio Souza. Both those guys are really good. I mean, the division's stacked, so Kyron Gracie would be another guy. Clark Gracie. I don't know, just like kid in a candy store right now with all these people. So
All the names.
yeah, I want Leandro Lo. I mean, just to fight him, he's really good.
It doesn't seem like you're nervous about this. It seems like you're more excited.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's because usually I'm really nervous, and for some reason this time I'm really excited. You know, it's my first time. I'm gonna enjoy it.
And why are you excited? Is it that you feel like the black belts get better coverage, or why?
Well, I've been training for a while, and I just recently got my black belt, and that made me really excited. And it's my first time as a black belt, so I really don't feel the pressure as much right now. That's probably why I'm really excited.
All right.
Plus, I reached a goal that I've been wanting to reach for a while now.
That's going to be a really exciting division. Can't wait to see your matches. And you too, Kurt. All right, guys, we're going to be right back on the mats with Kurt and Sean, so don't go anywhere.